What up players, it's Wall Boss Tay up in this mud. Today we are continuing with our Warpsmith here. Check it out, we did some hazard stripes on the back. We're gonna wait for that to dry till we clean it up. We brightened up the reds of the wires there. We painted some bronze over all the gold, and we colored in the eyelens and the skull on his face. Spooky! So, ooh, look at that fine cast! So thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoy this part 2 of how to paint a Chaos Warpsmith, and keep watching as we finish this guy up. Laters, players! Alright players, we are going to get back in it. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to, after letting your washes dry, we are going to take some Sycorax bronze and start painting the gold areas, which are going to be bronze, up to this color. I love Sycorax bronze. This is a great color. Very dull, washed out bronze. It's perfect for highlighting. Over Balthazar gold. Really like how the washes really dulled down the color and dirtied it up. So I am not a 40k player, not an anything player actually, but I would love to hear from any of you out there who collect Iron Warriors. What do you enjoy about the army? What has been some things that you really feel have worked for you playing on the tabletop, and just, you know, things like that. What do you enjoy? Is there anything about the painting you've found that you really have taken to and like? All that kind of stuff. I know that if I was starting out as a Chaos Space Marines player, Iron Warriors is probably, honestly, the easiest scheme to do well as a beginner, because you don't need to know much about color theory and what colors will effectively highlight what other colors. All you need to know is paint on some silver, paint on some gold details, wash, repeat. Even with something as simple as the red and brass of the World Eaters, you have to know what colors to highlight the red. What colors do you start with the brass? All of that stuff. So yeah, Iron Warriors, easy to paint starter army. Ooh, so that new terrain piece, the Wall of Martyrs, is at my local game store. The manager of the store told me that only one kit gets sent to the stores. And boy, I got to take a look at it, the box and contents and everything. It is formidable. Kind of reminds me of when the Fortress of Redemption first came out, and everybody was like, this is the most massive, unbelievably huge, impossibly difficult looking, you know, paint wise in order to paint piece of terrain ever produced. And that sold quite a lot here. I know a bunch of people who picked themselves up a Fortress of Redemption. I'm interested to see, you know, how many people are able to get their hands on Wall of Martyrs here, since they're gonna have to be eBaying it, or if everybody's just gonna wait for the kits to come out individually. It's not as bad as the White Dwarf makes it look up close. I know the White Dwarf makes it look like the Cadian bodies all over the place are just, you know, really poorly sculpted and everything, but seeing them in the actual model on the box cover, you don't really get that feeling so much. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on the, what's it called? The Wall of Martyrs. If you make any mistakes, like right there, I made the mistake on that Mechadendrite, no problemo. Just go back over it with some lead belcher. Ooh, problem solved. Look at this axe. Fine cast. I bent it. I put it in hot water and I bent it. And then I left it out and it bent back. It's just so rude. Fine cast, you are just mean. First you come all jacked up. Then you won't hold your shape when I bend you. It's like you don't want my money. Ugh. Yeah, I love the idea of these Iron Warriors. Just going in to do all the heavy work, then all this combat fatigue that they get because they just have to sit at the back and man the artillery trains. I really think it's really cool, and then they just get so jealous and sick of it that when they do get sent up to fight, they are just crazy by this time. They just want to kill everybody, kill everything. Okay, last thing we're going to do is these little Mechadendrites at the front. Alexei and Yuri. And this little section will be done. Yeah, the Balthazar gold is a little, just a little bit too bright. Reminds me very, very much of the old dwarf bronze. Okay. Next. Got my trusty box art right here that I'm taking a look at while I'm painting. I love that the box art is where you really can see all the mistakes you made, all the things you need to do better. Okay, so let's start in with the yellow hazard lines. Oh! He fell down. Why did you drop me? Can actually start with some Mephiston red to highlight some of these other red wires here. Actually shows that this wire up at his head is red, so we're gonna paint that. Little flash of color. Then we're gonna use it to paint the red wires that you find all around the body. We're not covering it in paint, we're just adding a little bit of color. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to add some more poster tack. Okay. Okay, so now this black and yellow, there's this one black and yellow pattern that is really, look at this. This is going to be hard to replicate, but I will try. Whew. Okay, looks like he's doing Y's down the back. Let's get some practice in by doing another one of these hazard stripes. So we're going to take our Averland Sunset. We are going to paint in the black wire that's on the left of the red wire with the hazard stripes on it. Now the reason we're doing this 1 second is because there's an actual rip in the wire, the actual wire itself, and you can see the black wire, or the metallic wiring underneath. So we're going to need to work around that as if it's not even there. So you just want to be careful because of all the texturing back there. You don't lay your brush down flat or else it's going to splotch paint over more than one adjacent wire. Then the wiring actually runs down, oh look at that, screwed up, runs down all the way to the bottom. Just gonna paint this whole thing yellow for now and then fix it with black. That might be easier. Since we got some yellow on our wires next door. Just want to have your lead belcher and your Sycorax bronze ready, just in case. Okay, so it's very slappy right now. It's pretty bad, and that's okay. That is okay. Gonna take our chaos black now. Gonna start at the top because everything is still kind of semi under control up there. Yeah, and the thing with hazard stripes is they're more interesting the more diagonal they are. So if you've got hazard stripes that are very horizontal, like going straight across, then you might want to think about when you paint your next color, like for example black here, that you increase the angle to make it more dynamic and diagonal. We'll do a little bit more of this, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away and we'll work on some other great details. And that'll be it for this one. Sometimes the hardest part is getting your tip of your brush in there. Ooh, so I just picked up Pariah, which is the new Gideon and Ravener book. And this one is based around the story of Elizabeth Bequeen, who, at the end of the last Eisenhorn book, spoiler alert, not even the end, like the beginning of the last Eisenhorn book, was not having such a good day. And it was very tragic because you get to know her over the first couple of novels and then you're like, oh, when stuff goes down. And I just tell you, it is not a good day when you and your buddies are facing down a Chaos Titan. Whew. Those things can pack a wallop. So you notice how bright Flash Gets Yellow is? Did I even show that I was using this? Flash Gets Yellow is what I'm using to highlight the yellow on the wires. Just trying to paint them in the center of our yellow hazard stripe design rather than on the corners. It's so thin, it's so transparent that as soon as you put it on the model, if you get any of it over the black areas, they immediately shine through. So we're gonna need to go back in with our black and clean that up. Which is totally fine, it just takes a little time. It's alright. All you need is just a little patience. Said Warpsmith, take it slow. We will paint these stripes out fine. Okay, that looks about right. Hazard stripes are hard to paint, boy. That's good enough for that, I think. Let's do something else before we try to tackle that middle one, just so that we have something else going on in this video. We're going to put some Temple Guard blue over the left eyepiece on the left targeter on the side of this guy's head. Okay. Gonna cover the rim one more time with lead belcher. Okay. Now we're gonna paint the bone. Going to use, let's see if we can find it. Ah, here we go. Ushati bone for the jaw, his human jaw, which I know is metallic on the box. If you want to follow the box art, then you can do that. I'm just doing something a little bit different. And if I was the sculptor of this model, I'd want this to be the way it was painted too. Okay. This is just about it for this model. We're gonna stop here. When we come back, we will finish the hazard stripes on the back piping, do a little bit of highlighting, and finish this guy up. I think it looks much better with this skull face though now. And one more thing we can do, we can add is Lothern blue to the blue. Just a touch on both eye lenses. In the top corners, if possible. Ah. Sorry, everybody. There you have it. I'm gonna take a little break here, come back, and in the final one, we will do some highlighting, finish up this hazard stripe down the middle, and wrap this guy up. Thanks for watching my How to Paint an Iron Warriors Warpsmith. See you in the next one.